Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
I buy the dog food, I pick up the dog poop, I pick up everything.
I don't think the dog belongs to whoever picks up the poop and exclusively to the poop picker-upper. I don't think that's how, I still haven't seen that measure of ownership in any legal book I've read.
This is the plaintiff, Samantha Lesniewicz. She says she and her ex-boyfriend, the defendant, got a dog named Daisy when they were together. While the defendant has Daisy and refuses to give her back. The defendant is toxic, and it makes her sick and very sad to think of Daisy living with him because he's aggressive with her, and she's in fear he'll do something to harm her. She's suing for $500 or the return of her dog. This is the defendant, Matthew. He says he drove to the local pound and saved Daisy's life because she was going to be put to sleep. The dog is his dog, and that's why he has her. If the plaintiff wants a dog now because she's lonely, she can go to the pound and save her own dog. But for goodness sakes, leave him alone. He's accused of creating a doggy dilemma. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $3,454.06 for gas, lost wages, and medical bills.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. How do I pronounce your last name?
Lesniewicz.
Okay. Samantha Lesniewicz, you are suing Matthew. You've asked to be referred to only as Matthew for $500 or the return of your dog that you say he is wrongfully withholding. You are counterclaiming against her $3,154.06 for physical harm that you say she did to you, tearing your knee? Okay. Talk to me, you first. What's going on?
We had bought he actually didn't buy our dog, and he did not go to the pound to get her. We had found her on Craigslist for free because we didn't want to purchase a dog. How
long were you dating?
We were dating for 3 years.
Total?
Total.
Okay. How long were you dating before you decided that you would bring a dog into the picture?
About 1.5 years, and we started dating December of 2012. In February of 2014, we had lost a baby. In June of 2014 was my birthday. Sorry. That's okay, thank you. It was my birthday, and Daisy was actually a gift for me, but that's
for your birthday?
For my birthday, and it was our dog.
What, is it for her birthday?
It was not for her birthday.
Was it a consolation prize because she lost the baby?
It was kind of like hopefully it would make her feel a little better just having something around the house that was...
So why do you get to keep it then? It sounds like it was a joint thing.
No, I buy the dog food, I pick up the dog poop, I pick up everything.
I don't think the dog belongs to whoever picks up the poop and exclusively to the poop picker-upper. I don't think that's how... I still haven't seen that measure of ownership in any legal book I've written.
She's my dog, and any time that it...
Who is a lady waving her hand while you're trying to talk?
This is my mother.
Oh, seriously? How old are you?
22.
Tell your mother to wait a second because you're talking.
Wait a second.
Go ahead.
I get confused, so
okay.
It's hard for me to even, I never expected this. She's just been my dog, and anytime, anything, she's also always said, well, that's Matthew's dog, so.
Who she said that to? Because you guys got the dog when you were together, and then.
She said that to my mom. It was my dog from the beginning. The dog cage came from my mom. The dog food, the container came from my mom.
Who has possession of the dog right now? Okay, and how did he get possession of the dog?
I actually have a restraining order on him because he came home extremely belligerent, drunk, and he was screaming at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. We have neighbors with kids, And I just give him, he's like, give me my dog. I had to literally bribe her from underneath my bed. I've never seen her hide underneath my bed. I had to bribe her with going potty to get her downstairs to give her to Matt, just to appease him and calm the chaos a little bit.
This was when? When did all this happen?
The 15th, but
Of
at
what
3
month?
o'clock in the morning,
Of what
December.
month? All
Because
right.
that's when I got this happened Sunday night, Monday morning, and I got the restraining order Monday afternoon.
Okay. So you get the restraining order. He's got the dog. Tell me the circumstances under which he gets the dog.
He's just screaming, asking for the dog.
So
and
why did you give him the dog? You gave him the dog because you wanted to shut him up because he was making such a scene?
Yeah, it was 3 o'clock in the morning.
When did you file for return of the, when did you say to him, I want my dog back?
I filed this case the 16th or 17th
Of December?
of December because
So right away.
It was in the restraining order, and it had a check mark off if there was any animal threat or abuse, and I do have this threatening
Okay,
his
show me
life.
the animal threat.
Can I also say while you're reading that when you're in a relationship, and believe me, it's both sides. It is. And when you're in a bad relationship, you can say things and be in a very depressed mood and anything like that.
Your ring is on the ground at the gas station, you whore. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm
First
taking
time he
Daisy
ever called
down
me
with
fat.
me. I hope you know this is on you. Is that the basis of your animal cruelty? A text when he's upset at 5:40 in the morning, that's it? Have you ever seen him be cruel to that animal?
Absolutely, and I
Talk
have
to me about it.
certified-
What have you seen?
I've notarized letters from my family members of
But
him
he-
literally throwing the dog in the cage, grabbing her by only the skin of the neck. Even though she's a small dog, she still has a decent amount of weight on her to where you should not hold her like this. I have my mother as a witness. I have a lot of letters. If he gets angry, he would pick her up and squeeze her as she whimpered.
Did you, at any point in time in your life, call animal cruelty people and file a complaint, or the police and file a complaint?
I don't want to ruin his life. I don't want to.
Well, but here's a problem. There could be two reasons why you didn't do it. One possible reason is you don't want to ruin his life. The other possible reason is it didn't happen. And you're saying this now because you want the dog back.
No,
Those
absolutely.
are the two possible reasons. And as a judge, I've got to discern which is the reason. I'm going to assume that your mom's going to testify for you, and your mom is going to testify for you.
Absolutely.
And they're both your moms. That's what I'm going to kind of assume. But where are you living right now?
I'm living.
I don't mean the address. I mean, are you living with your mom? Or are you living with a friend?
No, I'm living at my dad's right now.
And at that statement, I've seen his stepmother grab the dog up, just like I was telling you what Matthew had done. They're very violent. If I had tried to kick him out, he would just plead to me, where am I going to go? I'm going to go to my dad's house. I'm going to have to get a lock on her cage so nobody messes with Daisy.
Did you say that to her?
We have 3 other dogs in the house. They don't really want another one there, but
So
she
what's your
deals
game
with
plan
it.
here? What are you going to do?
I mean, I'm home all the time. I see Daisy all the time.
Well, why don't you get a job and not be home all the time? So what's your game
I
plan?
understand
to
that.
how are you going to get your life together
I was kicked
now
in the knee by
so that you
her,
can move on?
and I couldn't get a job.
Okay.
So I had surgery, and I'm
You
still.
were what? Say that again.
I was kicked in the knee by her, and she tore my meniscus, and so I
Okay,
was
so
not
now
able
let's get to
work.
your counterclaim against her, which is for $3,154.06. Because according to you, she attacked you. Tell me about it.
Yes.
When did that happen?
Well, she was wanting children again. She was having a emotional situation. I came home from lunch. I'm not sure what was going on. Nothing was right. Everything I was doing was wrong. It didn't matter what I did. And then next thing you know, she's talking to me about how she wants to have children, and either way, she starts crying. I go to give her a hug. Next thing you know, I'm kicked in the knee twice, actually. Very hard.
Okay, and what happened?
And it hurt so bad. I dropped to the ground and started crying. And I was actually screaming. It hurt so bad.
And then that ended up tearing your knee?
Yes.
Did you go to the hospital?
Yes, we went later because
Well, how much later?
Like days later, a week
you went
later.
the next day.
The next day,
You
actually.
started a new job.
Yes, I
Okay,
had
so
just
do
started,
you
so
have
I
the
didn't.
records from going to the hospital on December 1st? May I see them? The December 1st medical record.
I had also just started a new job.
That
so
was just a urgent care?
Yeah, let
Yes.
me see it.
Yeah, I don't have the urgent care one here.
Well, that would be good because then I know
But I
he
have the
actually sought
December-
medical care before the guys broke up, and all this
I
posturing
have
is going on.
the December 4th record from
That'll
the
do.
doctor.
Let me see that
Okay.
because that's before they break up or before the final
The
straw.
doctor wrote a letter.
Let me see.
Yes.
What do you say happened?
After we lost a baby, he said, wait. I waited 2 years. It was a long time. And I just need to fill that void.
Babies, let me just explain something to you. As a mother of 3 children, they're not fulfilling a void.
I know,
You need
and
to be
that's why
ready.
I'm waiting.
You need to be ready because,
I know.
because they're just going to be a huge disappointment to you if you think they fill a void, okay? They suck the life out of you.
Yeah.
So when you make a decision like that, it has to be with the right person in a committed relationship, whatever you call that, and you need to know that they are not fulfilling a void. They are not a pet.
I know.
Okay? They are vampires, okay? I love my children,
Right.
but you will be a terrible mother if you don't get and you're not prepared to be completely selfless. All right. go
I
ahead.
totally understand, and that's why I don't have kids yet, and I waited.
Well, because he said no. What if he had said yes? Go ahead.
True. Anyways, that day I didn't tell him I was mad at him because he didn't want to have children with me. I was telling him, please don't come, and I told him this before I even started talking to him. I said, please don't come by me. I'm aggravated. I don't want to be touched. And I continue to tell him that when I don't feel loved or even wanted by him anymore. That's why I was breaking up with him, and it was easier for me to come to terms with it.
But she wanted to have babies with me.
Why are you interrupting?
Anyways, I have video clips of him literally coming at me, and not in
How
this
do you have a
situation
video clip of that?
because I was tired of always being the bad guy. Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't have any other words
so
for
you
it.
took video in order to
Of just us arguing because he would pace for an hour as I sat on a couch and he
But
just
what
yelled
made
at
you?
me.
Who was making you to be the jerk?
He was, because if we argued, it was always
So you
my
wanted to be
fault.
able to show it to him later?
Yeah, like look at how he
I want to
acts.
see the video clip. I have to see the video clip.
So,
I've
but
never
in
had a
this-
video clip
in
of
this
the
video
argument.
clip, you can see that he's coming at me, and you could see me flail and how I would hit his.
I have an actual video clip of the event that
No, not
This isn't the day that.
Is it on that same day or a different day?
Different
totally
day,
different
similar
time.
situation. I sit on that couch every day.
Okay.
He paces.
Right, but you didn't. You didn't. But what happened when I was here and you went out, you just woke up, thought that I was at work. You thought that I was at work and you get off of me.
What the my face? I'm telling you, I don't like to be recorded.
I was home and you guys just went to Hooters and Kohl's and did your
Okay, it would be better if this relationship did not resume. All right, now.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, if you are with somebody, you give them the dog, but the dog you feel is being mistreated, can you take the dog back?
Yes.
Why so if you gave it back?
Well, you can see that the dog is being negligent.
Right, but then can you take it back if you've given it away?
Yes, if it's being mistreated and if you think
You're scoffing.
No, you can't give back. You can't take the dog back.
Because?
Because you're too emotionally vested and you can't be trusted to make that decision.
I was hoping for a slightly different reasoning there, but we're going to go inside the courtroom.
Tell me about the event in question with the knee.
I was just telling him that I didn't want to be touched. I told him I didn't feel wanted or loved by him, and he just tries to bear hug me so I can't move. So I flail so he can't touch me, and I did not mean to hit him in
You're both
his knee.
describing the exact same, basically.
Yeah.
There's no difference in your explanations about what happened, which sounds
just
like
flailed,
it's
I
not an
didn't hurt.
intentional injury to you. It sounds like you're
it
coming to
was.
hug her, understandably, because you're trying to smooth the movement out, be a good boyfriend or whatever, and then she says, leave me alone. She kicks you 1-2 really quick. She wasn't like, I'm going to get your knee and your little dog too. You know, she's not trying to hurt you. She's trying to get you off her or whatever. So that sounds to me like an accident. So, and not something that's done. It's done because you come to her and try to hug her, and she tries to get you to stop taking her space and hugging her. She doesn't want to be hugged. So how is it that I turn around and then allow you to collect $3,000 from her because she was negligent towards you? How is this not just one of those
This
things?
isn't just the first time there was another time that she was drinking and drunk, and I did not want to drink that night, and I laid down on the chair, and because I didn't want to drink with her, she punched me in the face, and her
Did
cousin.
you call the police?
The police were there, but I never got a report, and nothing ever happened.
Is there ever any evidence of
The police, every time the police came, there was never any kind of any report ever done. It was
because
just
what? Because the police don't feel
because-
like it in your case, or because you guys never told the police that there was physical violence going on?
we are not going to just start getting people arrested for stuff if we're going to be fined 10 minutes
but there's
later.
reports done all the time. Is there any report that documents the physical violence that you're
I
describing?
have notarized letters here of people that actually lived with us before.
Guys, stop. I'm not getting into this. I have 2 calls to make right now. One is, what do we do with the dog? And the other is, do you get $3,000 for this scenario that the 2 of you have described? That's my job.
Your Honor,
okay? I don't want to disrespect the mothers. Other than giving me more flavor about how horrible the other person is there anything that either mother feels like they, any specific testimony about a specific event?
Yes.
Okay.
The day they brought Daisy home, they brought her to my house on my lawn, and they were playing with the dog, and I was afraid to ask because I was, afraid it was going to turn out the way it did. I said, whose dog is it? She said to me, Matthew told me all the way home that it is his dog and his responsibility. That is exactly what she said to me.
He did say that before he threatened her life. And really quick.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did that happen? That what she described, that you're playing with the new dog?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that was agreed upon first before he started to abuse her and.
Okay. So if I understand what you're saying is it's his dog or it was his dog, but you don't feel it should be because you feel that he abuses a dog.
Right.
Mom, did you want to say anything?
A lot to say, but I won't.
Right.
I have witnessed Matt abuse the dog.
Okay.
He'd get mad at Sammy and then pick her up and throw her into his car and you hear her
We're done.
yell.
Everybody stop. We're done. I want everybody to listen to me. Don't fiddle with papers anymore because I'm going to rule. Okay, I don't want you to miss it.
Okay.
All right. Number 1. You basically admitted to me that this is not your dog. You gave the dog to him, and what you're saying to me is, Judge, I would be a better owner because he's a miserable owner of dogs. He's mean, and the people around him are mean to the dog.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's not how life works. This is his property. A dog is property. As much as we love our dogs, they're property, okay? And if you want to complain that there's some animal cruelty going on, then file a report with the appropriate authorities for animal cruelty, okay? Because I'm not going to make him give you the dog just because you say so, okay? Because it's his dog, all right? 2, you want me to order her to pay you $3,000-something over an injury that basically, for me to order her to pay you, I would have to find she is at fault for. I do not find that she is at fault based on the facts that basically the 2 of you have said occurred, okay? That she's crying, she doesn't want to be touched, you come in an effort. It's just one of those things, guys, okay? Particularly with a pre-existing injury in the knee. That is not something I'm going to make her pay for. So on your counterclaim against her, 0. And on your claim against him for $500 or the return of the dog, he wins. That is my verdict. Good luck, folks. Move on.
Hold on right there, please.
So the defendant keeps the dog, but he doesn't win on his countersuit. However, what's your thought about this outcome here?
I definitely don't think that he deserves the dog. She should be mine, and it's just a bummer that I now have to get another dog, even though I had raised her, and he just gets to keep her. So.
And you'll get yourself another dog and just move on?
Absolutely.
All right, fine. All right.
Thank you.
That's the way to move on. Okay, so step on in here. All right, so Daisy's yours.
Yes. I love my dog to death. I'm just so happy this is over. It's better that this whole relationship was over. It really sucked the life out of me, and I honestly haven't been happier since I've not been with her.
Now that this is over, it's a load off your shoulders.
Happy. Oh my God. I mean, if my dog would have been taken from me, I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
Well, it wasn't. You got Daisy.
Yeah.
Harvey?
Okay, I will play Dr. Phil for a second. These 2 litigants need to be as far apart from each other as possible. They are together toxic. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
This is the plaintiff, Desrenee Scott Stone. She says the defendant called her crying because he got arrested and couldn't make bail. She was a longtime family friend, so she posted his bond. Well, she got him out of jail. She hasn't heard from him, and this has been one of the most upsetting things to happen to her in a long time. She's suing for $1,250. The defendant owes her. says the defendant, Kenyatta Simmons. He claims he did landscaping work for the plaintiff and owes her nothing because they're even. Her bailing him out of jail was payback for all of that work he did for her. And he has no idea why she's now turning around and turning this into a lawsuit. Bottom line, they're more than even, and he thinks the judge will agree. He's accused of ruining a long-time friendship.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant cried to her he couldn't make bail, so she decided to post it for him, and she got stiffed. But the defendant says he worked around the house, so they are even. It's the case of jailbait.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Desreen Scott Stone, you are suing Kenyatta Simmons for $1,200 in bail money that you paid on his behalf, and he has not repaid you.
Yes,
Tell me
Your
what
Honor.
happened.
Your Honor, somewhere back around, I think it was June 9th of 2015, I was at my home and my phone rang, and it was the defendant on the other end of the phone. He was crying and said if I could help him because he was locked up, he got locked up.
Why did you think of calling her?
Because I've been doing so much things for her. It's like a family thing.
How do you know each other?
My sister married her cousin.
Okay, so you've known each other how long?
For a long time. It's been years, maybe
About
15 years.
About 15, 20 years.
Okay, but how often do you see her? I mean, is this a person closest to you in the world? It's kind of like, why did you think of her? You thought she'd have the money?
No, it's not even that. It's situations that happened before.
All right, so he calls you. When was the last time you had heard from him before that?
Your Honor, he's like a family friend, and I do see him. And to answer his question, he knows like I'm a kind person, I'm hardworking, so I guess he probably thought he knows I would help him if I could.
Okay. He also dated your daughter, right?
Yes.
Did we forget that?
No.
Like, is the daughter here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Were you not supposed to be dating or something? Why is it we don't say that out loud? Because neither one of you mentioned it. I'm just curious. How long did he date your daughter?
I think that were back she was back in high school.
Okay. All right, so what happened? He calls you and he says, I need your help, I need your help. How much money does he ask you for?
So, I asked him, like, what was going on, and he told me.
Okay, so he tells you you got arrested. What did you get arrested for?
I had a warrant because I missed a court date because I was down south.
What did you miss a court date for? What charge?
It was a failure to show driver's license.
I know. Okay, so on a failure to show a driver's license?
Yeah, but it wasn't
You didn't show
me.
up for that court date. You never called. You never wrote. You never did anything, and then it's just you thought it would go away, and then they had issued a warrant for your arrest. And how did they arrest you on that warrant?
They had a noise pollution on the other, like where I lived.
Somebody else called because it was
too
noisy?
pollution, but not my house. It was somebody else's house right next to me. Where we live is like a house
And
right
the
here.
police accidentally thought it was your place?
No, we were sitting right there in front of the yard, and they just walked up to the yard, me and the dude and everything, and they asked us questions, and they asked us our
Asked
names.
everybody for their license, and then
their
they see
names.
that you had a warrant.
Yes.
All right, so now, what does he ask you to do, ma'am? He asks you to go down there and post how much?
I think $1,600.
Okay, and did you come up with $1,600?
No, actually, I told him that, I didn't have $1,600, but, if there was anybody else who could help. He said, okay, if he was going to call his mom or something, but it ended up that I ended up speaking to his mother and his sister. So I said, I don't have the money, but I'm going to see if I could come up with like $400, and, so
But at the end of the day, what you show up with is $800. And did the bail bondsman bond him out with just $800?
Yeah, he said, you know what, I'll take a half, and I'm going to make some payment arrangement with him, and he's going to have to pay me like...
And yet that's not what happened, because what do you do?
So I started crying. I said, I don't have $800. I got my
So
mortgage
the bail
to pay.
bondsman is a softie, as all bail bondsmen are, and then he decides he would take just another $450 from you.
He said, if you could come up with $450 like right now, I'll just
leave you alone.
take $450.
And then you took $450.
And he said,
let me ask you a question. Did you ever pay anybody for bonding you out?
I paid her about $80 the most.
To who?
To her.
You paid $80?
Yeah, the most, because I got child support. I got a lot of things going on.
So why is it you haven't paid her back? Is it because you've done so many free things for her, like you said in your answer? Or is it because you don't have money? And you're broke?
It's cause of both. And I did 5 years in prison for it.
What do you mean you did 5 years of prison? First of all, if you look at her one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to get down here myself. Don't stare her down. Show a little respect.
I respect her.
No, it doesn't look like you do by the way you're staring her down. Cut it out.
So some friend of yours says, I need some help. I'm in jail. I need you to post bail for me. Would you do it?
No.
Why?
I think people have to be responsible for their own mistakes and just take full responsibility.
Innocent until proven guilty. What do you say?
I agree with her. If you did the crime, you pay the time.
Well, he hasn't necessarily been convicted yet. Would you post bail?
Hey, absolutely. That's what friends do.
Would you do it if somebody, say, committed a robbery?
I would do it.
I mean, O.J. Simpson.
Hey, there's always a chance to learn for next time.
Going inside the courtroom.
What do you mean you did so much for her? Like what?
I did a lot for the years that me and her know each other. Everything in the house, everything to the lawn, everything to a situation me and her daughter got into.
Okay, stop, back up. Everything in the lawn. What does that mean?
Lawn, her yard.
Would you mow her lawn for free every month? What are you saying?
I landscape her whole yard. I did everything in there. I did the yard. I mowed the lawn. I put the bricks down.
Do you mean when you were dating her daughter?
Dating her daughter, without dating her daughter, when I came home, everything.
Stop. Slow down. So you did how much free lawn work for her? And why?
Because I loved her daughter so much, and I love her too.
So were you living there?
At one point in time, yes.
Were you paying rent?
No.
Oh, well, that might explain why you do stuff. All right, so now when you say you went to prison for her, because that did not escape me, what was that for?
Some situation happened between me and her daughter. Something happened. They wanted both of us. I just took the weight for everybody.
What was it that happened? Just give me an idea. It was a what?
A home invasion.
Home invasion?
Mm-hmm.
And her daughter was involved, and according to you, you took the heat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did he ever pay you $80, like he says?
No, he never paid me $80.
Man, can I go on my phone?
What for?
Cause I got a text showing that she said that I gave her about $75 and something else she said on the text.
Okay, yeah. Go on your phone. Stop looking at each other. Just go on your phone.
There's so much texts between me and her. It's ridiculous. Well, she's saying 15 on this one. I got to go through other texts, but this one's saying in 2 months, I gave her $15. That's what she said on this one. I'm trying to find the other one. It's a lot of text, my judge. I'm sorry.
Come on up. Are you the daughter?
Yes.
Were you involved in a home invasion?
No, I wasn't, and that's what I want to make clear. I was not involved in a home invasion. There was a situation that happened that I tried to talk...
You look for the text. Don't you worry about what she's saying.
I tried to talk him out of it, and he didn't listen to me, and... did what he did, and he was sentenced. So I just want to make that clear for the record. I was not involved in her home invasion whatsoever.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Did he pay you anything? He says he has a text saying that he paid you $15 so far in 2 months.
Yes, Your Honor, I don't remember him paying me anything, but say he paid me $80 because...
Well, I don't want to say it unless he did. Give me that. I'm coming to your job. You ignored me. It's been 2 months. You gave me $15 and have bail bondsmen harassing me, yada, yada, yada. All right, I'm going to deduct $15 from the $1,250, which you have been able to prove, and I'm going to order you to pay the lady $1,235. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the defendant was able to prove with the text $15 paid back, and she wins the rest in this verdict. What's your reaction to how this came in?
I'm good with her. Get rid of her. I'm fine.
Well, you said you had a lot of love for her and for the daughter too at one time.
Yeah, but people can't admit their wrongs and can't admit that, what happened. I don't want nothing to do with them. I'm fine.
We do appreciate the fact that she stepped up for you when you needed it.
Yeah, I appreciated that, but it's okay. I'm good by myself. I don't need no people like that around me, liars and all that. I'm okay.
All right, right down this way. All right. All right, so step on in here, and how do you feel coming out of the courtroom here after all this?
Yeah, I feel justice was done.
Mm-hmm. Looking back on your decision.
You know what? I don't regret it because, I like helping people, and I thought I was just trying to do a good deed. But, I'll still help. I'm not going to stop doing good things.
What if he called you today and asked you the same thing?
That's a tough one.
You might?
No, the kind of person I am. Like I said, he was trying to get his life back on track, and I was, thought I'd try to help him out.
Were you too nice?
I've been told that many times that I need to get some ice in my veins, maybe.
Okay, Harvey.
Okay, you know, among other things, the defendant said he didn't have the money to pay her back. Bottom line, that is never a defense. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Ruthie's Prude. She says she purchased a clunker of a car from the unscrupulous defendant, who's nothing more than a conniving con man, and she wants her money back. The man even had the audacity to tell her the problems the car was having were due to her putting oil into the transmission. Huh? She's suing for $4,995, the amount she's owed. These are the defendants, Rodney Chavour and David Allen. Rodney claims the transmission tank was overflowing with engine oil, and the plaintiff told him she added oil to the car because it needed some. Everything was fine when he sold the plaintiff the car. She ruined it, and the problems she's experiencing are her own fault, no one else's. They're accused of not slipping into gear.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff bought a clunker from the defendant and blamed the problems on her. But the defendant says she was dumb and overflowed the car with oil. It's the case of not all's well that oil's well.
Thank you, Douglas. Ruthie's Prude, you are suing Rodney Chavour and Dave's Auto Sales, represented here by Rodney Chavour and David Allen. You are the owners?
Correct.
Okay. Who's who?
I'm David.
Okay, one at a time. Who's who?
I'm David.
Okay, I'm Rodney. All right, for $4,995, the cost of a vehicle that you want your money back for. Tell me what happened.
I purchased a car in January for my son. I spoke with Rod. I brought him up there to test drive it. He says, I stand behind my cars. They're good cars. I bought them from a dealer. I purchased a car. I brought it home. Well, when I went up there, I brought him a money.
Did your son see it or no?
Yes, he test drove it on the 19th. The 20th, I brought him back a money order in cash. We picked it up on the 21st. Came home, driving it home, the car was kicking out black smoke. I called Rod and told him about it. He said,
the same day as you're driving home?
Yes.
Okay.
He says,
what kind of car is it?
It's an Altima, a 2006 Altima.
Okay.
He said, oh, that's condensation. Okay. So driving home, you know.
Smoke is never a good thing.
He says condensation. So I said, okay. Kept driving. So the 28th is when the car first broke down. It started clunking. The oil light came on. The car started clunking, making a lot of noise. It was during the evening. I called Rod. I says, oh, this car's making a lot of noise. The oil light came on. The first thing he said to me, did you check the oil? I says, we checked it. The oil showed a little black oil at the end of the dipstick. So we went and purchased some oil. I got the receipt from AutoZone. We put in 4 quarts of oil in the oil, where it says oil on top of the engine. We put in the oil light went off, the car started up. I called Rod and told him. He says, oh, I don't understand. We had the oil change. I said, well, it did show a little black oil at the end of the dipstick. The car started running. I said, okay, the car's running, everything's okay. The 28th, same thing started all over again. The car started clunking, the oil light came on, it died in the driveway, wouldn't go in reverse, wouldn't do anything. I called him, I says, the car is not running, it's not doing anything. He said,
so how long had you had the car by then? 10 days?
14 days.
Okay.
I called him, he said, can you get the car to me? On the 28th when it died, I called AAA, I ordered AAA services.
Okay, in your complaint you say you bought it on the 19th of January. So you had it towed by AAA 9 days later?
Yes.
On the 28th?
Yeah.
Okay, not 14 days, 9 days. And then what?
I had it towed to them, and I had it towed to his service. He has his car serviced by Midas. I had it towed up there to the Midas place. I called them, that was February 4th.
What did Midas say?
He said that due to someone over-putting transmission fluid in the transmission is what caused the engine to die.
Does anybody have something from Midas?
No, he wouldn't give me anything. That's his mechanic.
Did your transmission die?
Yes, that's what happened.
Who proclaimed the moment of death? Midas?
He called me. Yeah, no, he called me on the 5th and said, due to me putting oil in the transmission is what caused the engine to die. I says, I didn't put oil in the transmission. I said, I put oil where the oil goes. He says, no, everybody makes a mistake. I says, I didn't make a mistake like that. I said, I know where the oil goes. I said, it goes where it says oil up on top. That's where I put the oil. He says, well, I'll go and I'll give you, I think it was $1,300 towards fixing the transmission. I said, well, what happened to the warranty?
Do you have the warranty?
Yes.
Let me see it. So, according to you, what does the repair shop tell you? You were getting numerous phone calls from them saying that there was a problem, right?
Right. I got the first time I got a phone call was it says that the engine was noisy. It was making a noise. And I said, I asked if she checked the oil. She said she did check the oil. And I said, well, if you're uncomfortable with it, get it to me. Can you get it to me? And she said, yes.
What kind of warranty did you give her when you sold her this car?
30-day powertrain.
30-day or 1250 miles, whichever comes first. Okay.
So I said, don't drive the car. I'll have my mechanic look at it. She said, I'll have it towed to Midas. And the guy told me at Midas, he said that whoever filled up the transmission fluid filled it up with excess of what it should be.
Oh, so it's just like she says.
Yeah,
it's not that someone put oil in the transmission.
No, the transmission, we don't know if it was oil. We're not saying
that's what you said in the answer to the complaint.
Yeah, but we're not sure it was oil.
Now you're not, okay.
Well,
so.
But it was overfilled in excess of.
But she didn't put, the only thing she put was oil. She didn't fill it with transmission fluid, right?
Well, we don't know that for sure.
Well, you know that she has never commented on that the only thing she called about was the oil. Who filled it with the transmission fluid? And would that alone cause the transmission to go?
If it's in excess, it would. It could cause a problem.
She just said that the transmission failed.
Yeah.
She said the transmission failed. Who filled it with the transmission fluid?
They must have. I don't know.
Why? Why not you guys when you sold it?
When the car left our location, the fluids were all
everything was okay.
Where they were supposed to be.
Right. It's the overflow that caused it to seize up, right?
Right. But
so
she had the car.
Who filled it before?
They did.
They filled it before you sold it?
She had the car 2 weeks anyways, and then said there was a problem with the transmission.
Did she call you on the day that she took the car from you and tell you there's a problem, it's smoking?
Not that day, no.
Did you ever top off the transmission fluid?
No, I didn't. Okay. And then I spoke with a mechanic. You can't put transmission fluid in a transmission because you have to have a special funnel.
Right.
To use to put transmission fluid in the car.
Funnel, what's that?
You know, some sort of funnel because they say the transmission thing is so thin. You have to have some sort of funnel to put it in.
Did you ever take it to a mechanic to have that
I spoke with one because like I've tried to
No, did you take it? Did you or your son take that car to a mechanic in the 9 days you owned it?
No, I didn't.
In order to have transmission topped
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
So if you take the car in within the warranty period, but it's not fixed and you go beyond it, are you still covered? That's the question.
Yes, it is, because it's not under my jurisdiction. It's the company's fault.
The company's fault that sold you the car. Are you responsible, or do you get covered by the warranty?
I think you still get covered by the warranty because I think that it's the company that should fixed it right in the first place.
Gotcha. Going inside the courtroom.
Does anybody have anything from Midas? Have I asked that?
Yeah.
Not a darn thing about why the transmission. All we know is that the transmission blew in a car she owned 9 days. It's under warranty.
Midas.
And everybody's sitting there saying, well, Midas said this. Well, no, Midas said that. Well, Midas said that. And then you started, the lawsuit started with your answer saying Midas said that they put oil in the transmission.
That's what Midas said. It looked like originally, but there's no way. Yeah, but they had to take it apart to find out for sure if it was oil.
So what is it? Is it oil or is it transmission fluid overflow?
We don't know, but it was overfilled.
Then you guys got to give her back her money. She's under warranty and the car doesn't work, and you don't know why, but it doesn't.
But listen,
so what's the science here? What's the reason?
She brought the car back in when she said you had a problem with the transmission. It came in. Somebody had put transmission fluid or oil.
Okay, well, unless you can prove, first of all, I don't even know if that's what's wrong with it, because I need to have evidence to see that that's what's wrong with it. All I know, and you're the guy, so if you're going to tell me she did something wrong that takes her out of the warranty, you got to prove it.
We don't know what she did with the car for the 9 days that she drove it.
She spent the entire time complaining to you guys about it.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
According to your own testimony, she said she called you from the way out. You say she called you 2 days later.
No, a few days, almost a week later.
That's not what you said before.
I said a few days later, within a week.
2 days later.
I said,
okay, and she says, no, we called him from the road. We've got a situation where they're complaining nonstop as as it goes along, and we're talking, folks, about 9 days. It's not even 14 days like she accidentally said. It's 9 days. And there's a 30-day warranty.
Yeah.
And
Right,
you
and
can't
under the
prove to
warrant-
me it's out of warranty.
Okay, so under the warranty, we have the right to fix the car. She's never given us the right
What
to
are you
fix the car.
talking about? She brought the car to Midas. That's what
Yeah,
you
but
told her to bring
She
it.
took it back.
She took it back. She wouldn't give us a chance to
We didn't
fix
have the
it.
opportunity to
Yeah,
fix
because
it.
you guys said you weren't gonna.
No, it's
You
not-
guys
that's
said
not true.
you
That's not
got.
true.
You know what?
That's not
We're
true.
done. We're done.
We're done.
$4,995.
Okay, so
Verdict for the
what can we-
plaintiff.
what can we-
Pay
what
the
can we-
lady.
We're done.
We're done.
When do we get the car?
Thank you.
Okay, so here they come from the defendant's side here. Step right next to me. You're right next to him. Well, what's going through your mind here, getting
Nah, just
on the losing end of this case?
Yeah,
like
but I
that?
think it's wrong. I think it's 100% wrong. And she didn't even give me a chance to tell her that I offered to help her.
Hey, guess what? It's your car again now. What are you going to do with it?
Well, that's what I want to know. That's what I want to ask
You
her.
get the car back.
Get the car back.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to wholesale it. Get rid of it. Take it to the auction.
Why don't you drive it?
Well, I will drive it. Maybe I will.
Okay, yeah. Around the corner this way. Officer McIntosh. All right, so step on out here, and what went down in the courtroom?
Victory.
Yeah.
Victory. Thank
That's
God.
how you feel vindicated, or?
Yes, I do. I really do. Thank you. I do. I mean, he got his car back, and I'm happy for it.
Yeah, well, you're happy for him?
Yes, I am. He got his bucket back. He got his bucket back.
Bucket of what? Harvey?
So, Kurt, the plaintiff brought the car in within the warranty period. Essentially, that stops the clock from ticking on the warranty until the problem is solved, so the plaintiff is covered.